What's good, people? I'm back with another video, and I think it's time we took a deep dive into every NBA team before the season starts. Now, every NBA team has that star player, the go-to guy, that when it's time to activate TakeOver,
oh my god, he on X Games mode.
Yeah, exactly. But every team has that one guy where if he taps into his true potential, the entire team can go crazy. I'm talking about the X Factors. Now, these guys can be the reason your team succeeds this year, or the reason your team's season ends in April. In this video, we're going to look at the X Factors for every team in the Eastern Conference. The Western Conference video will drop later this week, so leave a like so I can put that video out for you guys. These are the guys that I feel have to have a big season, and it is imperative that they do because their success will play a huge role for the team's overall success. You may not see a lot of NBA current superstars because I don't want to focus too much on certified stars. These are guys that I think have to play well this season with immense pressure, expectations, and etc. With that being said, let's get right into the first player. We got John Collins. Now, John Collins, power forward for the Atlanta Hawks, just signed a max deal for 5 years, $125 million.
Oh, it smells like porn in here.
This guy just got paid, but the expectations have just risen for this guy. We talk about the playoffs, ATL's coming off going to the Eastern Conference Finals, so he has to step his game up. When you look at John Collins' stats going into the regular season last year, compared to what he did in the postseason, it just wasn't up to par. And though the Hawks did make it to the conference finals, if John Collins was able to produce a little bit more offensively for this team, you never know. They could have made it to a Game 7 with the Milwaukee Bucks, and we've seen how Game 7s went in last year's playoffs. But with the young guys on this team and the veteran players and the chemistry that this team has already built, if Collins can have an exceptional season this year, the Hawks have a shot to make noise in the playoffs again, and if he can become an all-star caliber player, the Hawks will be in a very, very good position. Look, Dennis Schroeder had a very rough few months. Not only did he decline the 4-year, $84 million offer the Lakers gave him this year, but his poor performance in the playoffs meant he had no big money offers from any teams and had to sign with the Celtics for only $5.9 million this year, less than what he would have gotten originally. But let's pump the brakes. As much as we want to make fun of Dennis, he can still ball. This guy is a year removed from coming second for the 6th Man of the Year award in 2020. And on the Celtics, who still can't find a starting point guard, he should be able to help this team on both ends of the ball this season. I don't think Dennis makes the Celtics a championship contenders, and until Jaylen Brown returns from his hand injury, we won't know what to expect from this team definitely. But Dennis can help defend in the perimeter with Marcus Smart and lower the amount of playmaking responsibilities on Jason Tatum. We'll see what the Boston Celtics can do with Dennis Schroeder on the team. If we're being honest, if Kyrie, KD, and Harden are all healthy, I could be their X Factor and they'll have a great shot at making it to the NBA Finals.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Okay, but seriously, the Nets do have a lot of interesting names on their team, and I almost went with Patty Mills, but then I remembered Joe Harris shot less than 25% from 3 in the postseason, and let's keep this simple. If Joe Harris can knock down open shots in crunch time on the same efficiency that he shoots in the regular season into the postseason, which is over 47%, the Nets will remain as the middle school bullies of the NBA. With the spacing they already have and the all-world talents of their big three, Joe just has to make those open shots when the defense collapses, and the Nets will go far just like we expect them to. This one was tough, but I had to go with Miles Bridges. When I look at the Charlotte Hornets, Miles has immense potential to become a huge problem in the league. The entire world has seen him attack the rim like he stole something from him, and his leaping and athleticism is insane. But what many fail to mention is that the third-year vet who's only 22 years old is a reliable shooter from deep, shooting over 40% from 3 on 4.5 attempts a game last season, and a reliable free throw shooter, shooting over 85% from there as well. Miles has the tool set to be an offensive issue for teams, and I think in this season, where we all know LaMelo will improve and lead this team as the entire team is healthy now, if Miles can turn his game up to another level, there is no reason why I don't think the Hornets have a shot at playing postseason basketball. Averaging over 13 points per game last season, let's see if he can shoot up to over 15 or 16. And also, he's the best rapper out in the NBA right now. Sorry, Dame.
I feel like Dame or James. When I step back, disrespectful at a Yankees game with a Met test. Feel like D-Rose, I overcame every set. 40 hit them all angles, over under, nigga, bet that.
For the Bulls, you know I had to go with Lonzo. Lonzo Ball has already proven to the NBA that he deserves his spot in the league, and his progression within his first 4 years have been amazing to watch. Now with the Bulls and playing with star players such as LaVine, Vucevic, and DeRozan, Lonzo can be an extra piece that really puts the Bulls over the top like many fans think the Bulls will be. Lonzo's one of the best at his position when it comes to perimeter defense, and his confidence in knocking down the 3 balls there, taking over 8 attempts last season. Playmaking is what made Lonzo who he is, and in situations where Zach LaVine or Vucevic or even DeRozan have the defense focus on them, Lonzo should be able to eat offensively. If you're a Lonzo Ball fan, you should be excited for what Lonzo can do this year. An increase in efficiency and hounding defense will do dividends for the Bulls' success this year if Lonzo can get it done. Now with the Cavs, this is kind of tough figuring out their X factor. There's a lot of young guys on the roster who have immense potential to be something great in the future, and the Cavaliers could be a problem going down the road. But going into this new season, I feel like Lauri Markkanen has to be the X factor. And this may shock a lot of people. When you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers roster, there's a lot of forwards that are going to be fighting for minutes in the front court, and I think that Lauri Markkanen has a huge role for this team. In his first 2 seasons, Lauri Markkanen looked phenomenal. Now a lot of people thought that Lauri Markkanen could be the reincarnation of Dirk Nowitzki. I'm not trying to boost, but in his last 2 seasons, it's been kind of a downfall, and I feel like this new season with the Cleveland Cavaliers, with this team, Lauri Markkanen has an opportunity to get back to his first 2 seasons where he looked phenomenal, and he can do it. He's a 7-footer who can stretch the floor and shoots over 36% from 3 and can shoot from beyond the arc. In this new season, let's see how he does, paired up with Darius Garland, Jared Allen, and the rookie Evan Mobley. This team is already tall, so defense won't be a problem, and Lauri Markkanen should be able to help this team offensively, spacing the floor for everybody else. If you watched my previous video, then you know what I think about the Detroit Pistons and how I think they'll be exciting but won't really have any playoff potential in this year. But you'd also know how high I am on the Pistons adding Kelly Olynyk. Now Kelly still sucks for this back in 2015. This motherfucker cost to go to ring, man. But in 2021, Kelly posted career highs in almost every category and even put up close to 28 games for the Rockets last year. Alongside Cade Cunningham and Jeremy Grant, who will be the main producers on offense for this team, I think Kelly Olynyk can play a huge role for this team in helping them space the floor and adding some offensive punch that the Detroit Pistons are going to need. This might be the second time I've ever talked about the Pacers on this channel. Sorry, Indy fans. Hey, at least you guys have the Colts. Wait, never mind. But back to the NBA. I think that Caris LeVert is important for the Pacers this year. The entire Pacers were legit in the IR last year with guys coming in and out of the lineup. But when healthy, the Indiana Pacers are most certainly a playoff team in the Eastern Conference. Caris LeVert is a very good player, and I think his major weakness is his inconsistency, especially in his efficiency. With TJ Warren out for an extended time than expected, the Pacers will need Caris to continue his production on the court during the end of last season, where he was uber efficient and able to score the ball at will. And if he can reduce the offensive load on Sabonis and Brogdon, the Pacers will reach new heights and most certainly, like I said before, be a playoff team in the Eastern Conference. This may come to a shock, but guys, Tyler Herro doesn't suck.
No.
Yeah, I know we didn't look as great in the postseason this year, but Tyler in the regular season improved statistically compared to his rookie season, and there's much more potential for him to improve. And to be honest, just because the Miami Heat didn't want to trade Tyler Herro last year for a superstar, which we all can agree they should have, we can't use that against Tyler Herro. At the end of the day, Herro can't control that the Heat didn't want to push the button. It is what it is. But with Lowry, Butler, Bam, and all the vets on this team, Herro can make strides to have a huge impact on this season, second unit. Hopefully we see Herro return to the bubble problem he was for NBA teams, because when he was in that bag, it got very, very spooky. Let's make this quick and short. The X factor for the Bucks is Donte DiVincenzo. The Bucks, led by Finals MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, won their first championship since 1971 and had to go through a lot of adversity just to win this title. And they did this without Donte, their starting shooting guard who can defend and can shoot from deep. And if you watch the Bucks in the postseason, the Bucks struggled at times without Donte, figuring out the defensive lineups, matchups, and sets they were going to run. When Donte returns, the Bucks will have more spacing and their defense will be improved as well. If Donte can add a little bit more offensive production, the Bucks will be a nightmare to go up against as they try to repeat as champs. Plus they still got Giannis, so they're going to be a problem regardless, no cap. RJ Barrett for the Knicks is going to be a problem if he makes another jump like he did in his sophomore season. He made major increases in his offensive efficiency and played every single game for the New York Knicks last year. Now with the Knicks adding in Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier and re-signing Julius Randle, I want to see RJ take another step, and if he could be a consistent offensive player on better efficiency, the Knicks could be an issue to face when it's playoff time. Averaging 17 points per game last season, RJ can do it. Though, RJ didn't play great at all in the postseason, but it's important that he has a good regular season in this year to gear up for a redemption postseason. And I didn't even mention the defensive effort RJ gives out. A rising two-way player going into his third season. Let's see what RJ does in this year and see if he can make another leap in his game. Next up, we got the Orlando Magic, and their X factor is, of course, actually, hold on, let me see, hold on.
Today, Junior?
Yeah, I legit was drawing blanks. No one on the team currently played over 30 minutes a game last year, so there are a lot of question marks, injuries to overcome, and rebuilding to go for the Magic. But Jonathan Isaac seems to me as the X factor for Orlando this season. Isaac has had to deal with a torn ACL that kept him out of last year, and currently he's questionable to return at the start of the new season. But I think as he returns and is finally healthy, the Magic will need Jonathan Isaac to be the defensive juggernaut he has shown to be and be the captain for the defense going forward. His versatility and ability to guard multiple positions makes Isaac so valuable. At nearly 7 feet, he's more than able to get to the basket, and with the many guards on his team in Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz, newest rookie Jalen Suggs, and much more guys who can handle the rock, who have a lot of pick and roll opportunities on this team, and he can still put the ball on the floor himself. Once health is no longer a question for Jonathan Isaac, and he's on the court, he will most certainly make an impact for the Orlando Magic. The Philadelphia 76ers situation is very tricky, because I think we can all agree that Ben Simmons will no longer be a part of the team and might be traded very soon, and that might mean some younger players on the Sixers may be shipped to in a package, so I'll avoid those players in this video. I think that the Sixers X factor is Andre Drummond. Look, Joel Embiid will continue to be the superstar that he is, Tobias Harris will fill in his role as a second option that he does well, and Seth Curry has proven to be reliable as can be from deep when needed. Drummond is coming off a pretty rough run with the Lakers, and his playstyle and skill set doesn't really translate to the NBA style today. But if Drummond is your backup big man you have coming off the bench, that's not as bad as that sounds. If you can surround him with reliable shooting that the Lakers were unable to do and the Sixers have on their roster, Drummond will be able to be a better performer on the court offensively. The only question mark is his fit with Embiid, but I doubt they'll play many minutes together, and if a trade does occur, they will add some pieces to the Sixers, and Drummond will just have to fill in his job as being the rebounding monster he is and finishing at the rim. We're almost at the conclusion, and for the Raptors, their X factor is OG Anunoby. OG put up career highs in almost every statistical category, but his efficiency did drop, putting up over 15 points per game last season. With Raptors legend Kyle Lowry now gone, OG will have way more touches and opportunities to be more productive. His size and frame at 6'8" and 230 pounds allows OG to absorb contact when getting to the basket and also be way more physical when playing defense. With the first options on the team already in Siakam and Van Vliet, they'll command a scoring load, but I think OG is well suited going into the new season to have another career statistically if he ups his game, which I think he for sure can. And with our final X factor, we have Kyle Kuzma for the Washington Wizards. There are a lot of guys on the Wizards that you can convince me is a true X factor for the Wizards, like Montrezl Harrell, Spencer Dinwiddie, and of course Ryu Hachimura. But Kyle Kuzma seems to me as a guy that can impact the Wizards' success the most this season. We saw how Kyle played last year in the postseason, and of course, he played bad, and we could find numerous clips of Kyle Kuzma looking dumb on the court. But Kuzma was one of only 2 players on the Wizards roster that has won an NBA championship, and Kyle Kuzma in the Lakers championship run in 2020 struggled to find his role, but showed up big in the moments that his team needed him. And I want to mention in his first 2 seasons, Kuzma displayed that he can produce offensively, putting up 17 and 6 on 45% shooting. The pressure in LA was immense when they became a championship level team. We saw the best and a lot of the worst from Kyle Kuzma. But in Washington, a fresh start with not as much expectations, I can see Kuzma be a focal point for the Wizards on the offensive end alongside the many other pieces on this team, which will not force Bradley Beal to have to put up 30 plus a game nightly to keep his team in the game. I want to see Kuzma have a good season, and hopefully, he's in line to prove the doubters wrong. That wraps up my X Factors for the Eastern Conference. I know you guys are gonna disagree, so leave a comment down below who you think are the X Factors for your favorite team. Be on the lookout for my Western Conference X Factor video, so turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss it. Leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. Road to 1K coming soon, and until next time, stay on beat.